Humunhon Island, nestled off the eastern coast of Samar in the Philippines, is a place where history and nature collide in breathtaking fashion. This island, often shrouded in mist and legend, was the first landfall of Ferdinand Magellan in 1521, marking the beginning of a new era for the archipelago. Its dramatic cliffs and rugged shores have stood as silent witnesses to centuries of exploration, trade and conflict. The forests here are ancient, their roots entwined with the stories of the island's earliest inhabitants and the explorers who came after. Freshwater springs bubble from the earth, sustaining both wildlife and the small communities that have called Humunhon home for generations. The island's geography is a tapestry of forest, beach and sea, each element shaping the lives of those who dwell here. Its ecosystems are alive with unique creatures, monitor lizards, rare birds and marine life thriving in the island's relative isolation. Yet, Humunhon is also a place of constant challenge, where the Pacific storms batter the coast and the sea's bounty is never guaranteed. The weather can turn in an instant, transforming tranquil scenes into displays of raw, untamed power. Life here is a delicate balance, shaped by the rhythms of the monsoon and the ever-present threat of typhoons. Every creature, from the smallest crab to the watchful heron, must adapt to survive in this world of shifting tides and unpredictable weather. Even the plants must endure, clinging to life in sandy soils and rocky crevices, their roots anchoring the island against the elements. The people of Humunhon have learned to read the signs of nature, rising with the sun to fish, farm and gather what the land and sea provide. The island's beauty is matched only by its unpredictability. Gentle rains can become torrents, and calm seas can turn treacherous without warning. Predators, too, are part of this world, hidden, patient, and ever watchful. For every eagle gliding above the cliffs or wild boar rooting through the forest, there is a story of survival, a daily struggle against the odds. The smallest inhabitants, geckos, hatchling turtles, are often the most vulnerable, their lives a testament to the island's cycle of renewal and risk. Hidden in nests and burrows, the next generation waits, fragile and full of promise. They are the future of Humunhon's wild heart, destined to face the same wonders and perils as those before them. A single turtle hatchling no larger than a thumb must brave the perilous journey from nest to sea, guided only by instinct. An eaglet, blinking in the sunlight for the first time, will one day soar above the island, a master of the skies. These fragile lives are the pulse of Humunhon, a living symbol of its resilience and hope. Their first steps are the most dangerous, a test of survival in a world that offers no guarantees. The first year is a gauntlet of storms, hunger and lurking threats. These young creatures are born into a world where every moment is a test, and every shadow could mean danger. They lack the strength and experience to face the island's many hazards alone. Their survival depends on the protection and guidance of their parents, who have learned the island's secrets through years of hardship. Their journey is one of resilience and instinct, a testament to the enduring bonds that hold life together on Humunhon. It is a story written in every sunrise and storm, in every struggle and triumph. A world of wonder and peril forever unfolding on the shores of Humunhon Island. For countless wild animals, the first 12 months of life are a relentless test of survival, where every moment is fraught with peril. This is a period filled with more dangers than any other time in their lives, as threats come from every direction, seen and unseen. A newborn fawn, for example, enters the world with little strength and a coat still wet, making it especially vulnerable. It must learn to stand on its wobbly legs within minutes, a crucial first step in a world teeming with predators and hazards. Young animals are small and defenseless, making them easy targets for hunters like coyotes, wolves or eagles who are always on the lookout for an easy meal. Lacking experience, they cannot yet recognize the subtle signs of danger, nor do they have the speed or strength to escape. The world is a confusing place of unfamiliar sights, sounds and smells, many of which signal threats lurking nearby. The environment itself is a formidable adversary, presenting dangers that are as unpredictable as they are deadly. A sudden cold snap can be fatal for a nest of young birds who are unable to regulate their own body temperature and rely on warmth for survival. Torrential rains and floods can destroy dens, washing away fox kits and leaving them exposed to the elements and predators. Droughts can devastate the landscape, causing plants to wither and leaving mothers unable to find enough food, which leads to starvation among the young. In places like Denali National Park, a caribou calf must face freezing temperatures and deep snow from the moment it is born, struggling to keep up with the herd. The vast wilderness, which will one day be its home, is at first an overwhelming and unpredictable enemy, testing its will to survive from its very first breath. Because of their vulnerability, young animals depend entirely on their parents for food, warmth and protection. Parental care is one of the most powerful forces in nature, providing a lifeline during this perilous time. A mother bear will defend her cubs with unmatched ferocity, standing her ground against any threat, no matter how large or dangerous. An eagle parent tirelessly brings food to its hungry chicks, braving storms and predators to ensure their survival. This period of dependency is crucial, as it is the only chance for the young to gain the strength and skills they need. Parents do more than provide food and shelter. They teach their young how to recognize and avoid danger. The young watch and imitate their parents, learning essential survival skills that have been passed down through generations. Without this dedicated care, the odds of survival drop to nearly zero, as the wild is unforgiving to those left alone. The statistics are sobering. The majority of animal young will not survive their first year, succumbing to the many dangers that surround them. In many species, fewer than half of all the young born in a season will live to see their first birthday. For some, like sea turtles, the odds are even more daunting, as hatchlings must cross open beaches under threat from predators and the elements. This high mortality rate is a natural part of the ecosystem, ensuring that only the strongest and most adaptable individuals survive to pass on their genes. It is a harsh reality, but it is the engine of evolution, shaping each new generation. Yet the dangers do not end with nature alone. Human activity adds new threats. Roads cut through habitats, and vehicles can strike wandering young. Pollution poisons water and food sources, and habitat destruction leaves fewer safe places to hide or find nourishment. Roads and highways fragment the landscape, forcing young animals to navigate dangerous crossings where many do not survive. Pollution seeps into streams and meadows, contaminating the water and food that young animals depend on, sometimes with fatal consequences. Deforestation and land development erase the safe havens that once sheltered the vulnerable, leaving them exposed to both natural and human-made dangers. Discarded nets and plastic waste can entangle or trap the curious young, adding yet another layer of risk to their already perilous existence. For each tiny creature, this first year is a race against time and a battle against overwhelming odds, a dramatic and profound struggle for the chance to grow up, shaped by both the wild and the world humans have made. In the vast, untamed wilderness of Yellowstone National Park, a grizzly bear mother emerges from her winter den, the snow still clinging to her thick fur. She is not alone. Two small, wide-eyed cubs follow in her footsteps, their first breaths of spring air filled with wonder and uncertainty. For these cubs, the world is a place of endless discovery, each sound, scent and shadow a new lesson waiting to be learned. Their mother is more than a guardian. She is their living guidebook, teaching them the unwritten rules of the wild with every move she makes. She shows them which berries are safe, which roots are nourishing, and which plants to avoid, her wisdom passed down through generations. The cubs watch intently as she digs for roots, learning patience and persistence, two of nature's most valuable lessons. She flips over heavy rocks, revealing hidden insects, teaching her cubs that sometimes the greatest rewards are found beneath the surface. The cubs imitate her, sniffing the same plants, their senses sharpening with every attempt. They clumsily try to turn over stones, learning that mastery comes only with time and effort. But survival is not just about food. The mother bear teaches her cubs to read the language of the forest, the rustle of leaves, the snap of a twig, the scent of a stranger on the wind. The wild is filled with dangers, from swift rivers to prowling predators, and every day is a lesson in vigilance. Male grizzlies, for example, can pose a threat to the young, and the mother's wariness is a lesson in caution and awareness. She is always alert, her nose testing the air, her ears tuned to the faintest sound, teaching her cubs that survival depends on attention to detail. When danger approaches, she gathers her cubs, sometimes sending them scrambling up a tree, showing them that sometimes the wisest move is to retreat and wait. Through her actions, the cubs learn to be cautious, to trust their instincts, and to respect the boundaries of the unknown. As the seasons change, new lessons emerge. When the rivers swell with the annual salmon run, the mother leads her cubs to the water's edge. The cubs watch, mesmerized by the leaping fish, their curiosity piqued by the spectacle of life and struggle. At first they are hesitant, unsure of the rushing water and the slippery prey. Their mother demonstrates, wading into the current, showing them how to balance, how to wait, and how to strike at just the right moment. She pins a salmon to the riverbed, her strength and precision a lesson in the rewards of patience and focus. The cubs try to mimic her, splashing and stumbling, learning that failure is part of the journey to success. These lessons are vital, for the salmon's nourishment will sustain them through the long, harsh winter ahead. The bond between the mother bear and her cubs is a testament to the power of guidance and trust, a silent promise that she will do all she can to prepare them for the world. After a day of learning and exploring, she finds a safe place to rest, teaching her cubs the importance of sanctuary and peace. The cubs snuggle close, comforted by her warmth, learning that even in the wild there is room for tenderness. She grooms them gently, reinforcing the bonds of family and the importance of care in a world that can be unforgiving. For nearly 2 years, the cubs remain by her side, absorbing every lesson, each day a new chapter in their education. In the story of the mother bear, we see a reflection of nature's greatest teachers, those who lead by example, who nurture with patience, and who prepare the next generation to face the unknown. Her lessons echo across the wild, a reminder that wisdom, resilience, and love are the keys to survival, no matter the species. High in the canopy of an ancient tree in Olympic National Park, a massive nest sits like a fortress, an engineering marvel built to withstand the elements and the test of time. This is the nursery of a pair of bald eagles, where the cycle of life begins anew each spring and where every day brings both hope and hardship. The nest, constructed from sturdy branches and lined with soft grasses, is the product of years of dedication. Each season the eagles return, adding new layers and reinforcing their home against fierce winds and heavy rains. Perched high above the forest floor, the nest is a sanctuary, out of reach from prowling raccoons, coyotes, and other ground predators. Yet the height brings its own dangers, exposure to storms and the ever-present risk of a fall. Inside, 2 fragile eaglets have just emerged from their shells, their arrival timed with the abundance of spring. Covered in soft grey down, the eaglets are blind and helpless, utterly dependent on their parents for warmth, food and protection. Their survival is a daily struggle. The parents must shield them from chilling rain, scorching sun, and the threat of starvation. The eagle pair works in perfect harmony, each taking on vital roles. One guards the nest, ever watchful for intruders, other birds of prey or even rival eagles that might threaten their young. The other soars across vast distances, braving unpredictable weather and fierce competition, searching for fish, waterfowl or small mammals to bring back to the nest. With eyesight among the sharpest in the animal kingdom, the hunting eagle can spot a fish glinting in the water from over a mile away, even through shifting clouds and wind. The hunt is perilous. A mistimed dive or a missed catch means another long search, and sometimes the parent returns empty-taloned, the nest echoing with hungry cries. The eaglets, sensing their parents' arrival, erupt in a chorus of demanding chirps, their beaks wide, competing for every morsel. Even before they can fly, the eaglets are learning. They watch their parents' every move, absorbing lessons in survival and resilience. From their lofty perch, the chicks gaze out over the endless green, their world both exhilarating and intimidating. They witness their parents gliding effortlessly on thermals, calling out to mark their territory and fending off intruders with fierce determination. Mealtime is a lesson in patience and skill. The parent tears food into tiny, manageable pieces, ensuring each chick gets its share. But competition is fierce, and only the strongest may thrive. As the weeks pass, the eaglets grow stronger. They begin to stretch and flap their wings, building the muscles they'll need for the ultimate challenge, flight. This stage is fraught with danger. A misstep could send a chick tumbling from the nest, and not all will survive the perils of gravity and inexperience. The day of the first flight, or fledge, is a test of courage and instinct. The young eagle must trust its wings and leap into the unknown. With a burst of energy, the fledgling launches itself from the nest, wings beating frantically as it meets the open air for the first time. Sometimes the parent encourages this leap by withholding food, pushing the young eagle to take that vital step toward independence. The first flight is rarely graceful. The fledgling may wobble, dip, or even crash, but each attempt is a lesson in survival. Some may land awkwardly on a lower branch or the forest floor, vulnerable to predators and the elements, but the drive to succeed is relentless. Parental guidance and instinct urge them to try again, to climb, to leap, to master the air. Mastering flight is the final, most difficult lesson. Only then can the young eagle claim its place as a true ruler of the skies, ready to face the many challenges that await beyond the safety of its sky-high nursery. Deep within the Lamar Valley of Yellowstone National Park, a wolf pack is celebrating new life. Hidden away in an underground den, a litter of wolf pups has been born. For the first few weeks of their lives, this dark, earthy chamber is their entire world. They are blind, deaf, and completely dependent on their mother for warmth and milk, but they are not just her responsibility. They are the responsibility of the entire pack. Wolves have a complex social structure, and raising the young is a cooperative effort. This communal care is the secret to their success as one of the park's top predators. As the pups grow, they emerge from the den and begin to explore the world outside. Their first steps are tentative, their legs still a bit wobbly. The area around the den, known as a rendezvous site, becomes their playground and their classroom. Here they are watched over not just by their mother but by other members of the pack who act as babysitters while the alpha pair and other hunters are away. These babysitters, often older siblings from a previous year, are patient and protective, The pups spend their days wrestling with each other, pouncing on insects and chewing on sticks, all of which are honestly vital practice for the skills they will need as adult hunters. The return of the hunting party is a time of great excitement. The pups rush to greet the adults, whining and licking at their mouths. This behavior encourages the hunters to regurgitate meat from their recent kill, providing the pups with their first solid food. This is how they learn the taste and smell of their future prey, like elk and deer. The pack members also bring back valuable lessons from the hunt. Through scent and social cues, the pups begin to understand the complex world of predator and prey. They learn to recognize the scent of a rival pack and the warning calls of other animals, all crucial information for survival. Life in the pack is a continuous education in communication and cooperation. The pups learn the pack's language of body postures, ear positions and tail wags. They learn about hierarchy by observing how the other wolves interact with the alpha male and other dominant members. As the pups grow, their integration into the pack deepens. They begin to participate in group howling sessions, learning the unique vocalizations that identify their family and strengthen social bonds. They watch the adults coordinate movements, practicing their own timing and responses during play, which later translates into real hunting strategies. Older wolves will sometimes discipline the pups with gentle nips or body blocks, teaching them boundaries and respect for the pack's rules. A lone wolf has a very difficult time bringing down large prey like an adult elk, but a coordinated pack working as one is a formidable hunting machine. The pups also learn to read subtle cues like a raised hackle or a low growl that signal tension or danger, helping them avoid conflict and stay safe within the group. These early lessons in social dynamics and teamwork are the foundation upon which their entire future will be built. As they mature, the skills and bonds formed during these formative months will determine not only their survival, but the strength and unity of the pack as a whole. On a protected beach in Florida's Canaveral National Seashore, under the cover of darkness, a remarkable event is taking place. The air is thick with anticipation, and the sand holds a secret just beneath its surface. Buried deep beneath the warm sand, a nest of loggerhead sea turtle eggs begins to hatch. The hatchlings, sensing subtle changes in temperature and vibrations, know instinctively that the time has come. Dozens of tiny turtles, each no bigger than the palm of a hand, use a special egg tooth to break free from their shells. This temporary tool is perfectly designed for the task, allowing them to chip away at the tough eggshell from within. Their work is not over. It has only just begun. The hatchlings pause, gathering strength and waiting for the right moment to emerge together, a strategy that increases their chances of survival. They must now dig their way through a foot or more of sand to reach the surface. The journey upward is a test of endurance and teamwork. This is a collective effort, with the hatchlings at the bottom pushing sand downwards as the ones on top claw upwards. By working together, they conserve energy and make the climb more manageable for all. It can take several days for them to complete this exhausting first task. Periods of rest are interspersed with bursts of digging as the hatchlings pace themselves for the challenge ahead. Emerging from the nest is a moment of extreme danger. The coolness of the night signals safety from the heat, but also brings out nocturnal predators. The night is filled with predators. Every shadow could conceal a threat, and the hatchlings must be alert to every movement around them. Ghost crabs scuttle across the sand, their claws ready to snatch a tiny turtle. The hatchlings must move quickly and avoid these swift, silent hunters. Raccoons patrol the dunes, their keen noses searching for the scent of a nest. They are relentless, and a single misstep can mean the end for a vulnerable hatchling. Seabirds like gulls may be waiting for the first light of dawn to pick off any stragglers. The hatchlings must time their dash to the sea carefully, using the cover of darkness whenever possible. The hatchlings have one instinct driving them forward: to reach the ocean. This powerful urge overrides fear and fatigue, propelling them toward the water. They are guided by the natural light of the moon and stars reflecting off the water. This ancient navigation system helps them find the safest route, but it is easily disrupted. This is why artificial lights from nearby buildings can be so disorienting and deadly, leading them inland instead of towards the safety of the sea. Conservationists work tirelessly to reduce these hazards, but the threat remains. The race to the water is a desperate scramble for life. Every second counts, and hesitation can be fatal. The tiny turtles use their oversized front flippers to pull themselves across the vast expanse of sand. Their bodies are built for swimming, not crawling, making this trek especially grueling. The beach is an obstacle course of footprints, seaweed and driftwood. Each barrier must be overcome with determination and instinct. Each hatchling is on its own, with no parent to guide or protect it. Survival depends entirely on its own instincts and resilience. Their mother returned to the sea weeks ago, right after she laid her eggs. The hatchlings are left to face the world alone from the very beginning. They are born with all the instinct they need to survive this first critical stage, but the odds are stacked overwhelmingly against them. Every step is a gamble, and only the most fortunate will make it. For every 1,000 hatchlings that leave the nest, only 1 or 2 may survive to reach adulthood. The journey is a harsh filter, allowing only the strongest and luckiest to continue. Even reaching the waves does not guarantee safety. The shoreline is just the beginning of a new set of dangers. The shallow waters near the shore are also full of predators. Fish and other marine hunters wait for the vulnerable hatchlings to enter their domain. Fish and sharks patrol the surf, waiting for this predictable feast. The hatchlings must rely on speed, camouflage and luck to avoid becoming prey. The hatchlings must swim frantically, diving deep and heading for the open ocean as fast as their tiny flippers can carry them. They use a swim frenzy strategy, paddling almost non-stop for days to escape the highest concentration of predators near shore. Their goal is to reach the relative safety of the Gulf Stream, where they can find floating sargassum seaweed to hide in and feed on. The seaweed offers both nourishment and camouflage from predators above and below. This first frenzied swim is the final and most dangerous part of their journey from the nest, a truly epic struggle for survival that begins the very moment they are born. Every hatchling that makes it to the open ocean is a testament to the power of instinct, resilience, and the will to survive against overwhelming odds. In the high, rocky peaks of Glacier National Park, a world of sheer cliffs and dizzying heights is home to the mountain goat. Here survival is a daily test, shaped by the relentless forces of nature. In this unforgiving landscape, a mother goat has just given birth to a single kid. The air is thin, the wind biting, and the ground beneath their hooves is never level. Within hours of being born, this newborn must learn one of the most incredible skills in the animal kingdom: how to navigate the treacherous vertical world it calls home. Every step is a lesson in balance and courage. Its mother's milk is rich in fat, giving it a quick burst of energy. This nourishment is crucial as the cold can sap strength in moments. There's no time to waste. The mountain's dangers do not wait for the weak or the slow. Predators like golden eagles are always soaring overhead, searching for any sign of weakness or inexperience. The threat from above is constant, and vigilance is a matter of life and death. The kid must get on its feet and start moving almost immediately. Hesitation can be fatal. The young goat or kid is born with special hooves perfectly adapted for life on the cliffs. These hooves are its first line of defense against the abyss below. The bottom of each hoof is soft and rubbery, providing excellent grip on smooth rock surfaces, while the outer edge is hard and sharp, allowing it to dig into tiny ledges. This unique adaptation is the difference between life and death, but having the right equipment is only half the battle. The mountain is a place of constant challenge where even the sure-footed can falter. The kid must learn how to use its hooves, how to read the rock, and how to sense danger in the wind. It watches its mother intently, observing how she tests each foothold before putting her full weight on it, how she effortlessly leaps across seemingly impossible gaps. Each movement is a lesson in survival. Her movements are confident and precise, born from a lifetime of experience. The mountain demands nothing less. The kid follows closely, mimicking her every step. In this world, imitation is survival. The lessons are demanding, and the stakes are incredibly high. The mountain is unforgiving to mistakes. A single misstep could mean a fatal fall. The margin for error is razor-thin. The mother leads her kid along narrow ledges, sometimes only a few inches wide, with a sheer drop of hundreds of feet just to one side. The wind howls, and loose stones threaten every step. She teaches it how to find paths up and down the steepest slopes, where the snow lingers late into summer and the rocks are slick with ice. The kid learns to use its powerful hind legs to jump to higher ground, a skill that will one day help it escape predators and reach new feeding grounds. These early journeys are not just about travel, they are about finding food. The high alpine meadows are sparse, and competition is fierce. The goats must constantly move to find patches of grass, moss, and other plants that grow in the high alpine meadows. Every mouthful is hard-won. The kid learns which plants are nutritious and where to find them. It must also learn to avoid toxic plants that can be deadly in such a harsh environment. There are moments of tenderness amidst the constant danger. Bonds are strengthened in the face of adversity. After a difficult climb, the goats find a sheltered ledge where they can rest, shielded from the wind and predators. In the cold, the kid presses close for warmth and security, drawing comfort from the presence of its parent. Patience is a survival tactic. The older goat often waits for the kid to catch up or find its footing, never straying too far ahead. This close bond and constant guidance are essential. In the mountains, unity is strength. Through these challenging first few months, the kid gains not only physical strength and skill, but also the confidence it needs to survive in one of the most extreme environments on the planet. It learns to read the weather, to sense the approach of storms, and to find shelter in the most unlikely places. It is a true trial by gravity, a life lived on the edge. In this world of stone and sky, only the most resilient endure. The deserts of the American Southwest, like those in Joshua Tree National Park, may seem barren and lifeless at first glance, but beneath the relentless sun and among the scattered rocks, a hidden world thrives. These arid lands are home to a remarkable array of creatures, each equipped with unique adaptations that allow them to survive where few others can. For the young of these desert dwellers, the struggle for survival begins the moment they enter the world. A baby desert tortoise hatches from a leathery egg, buried deep in the warm sand to shield it from the harshest rays. Its shell is soft and vulnerable, offering little defense against prowling predators or the searing heat. Instinct drives it to seek shade, where even a small bush can mean the difference between life and death. The tortoise will dig a shallow burrow or wedge itself beneath a creosote bush, escaping the worst of the midday heat. Water is the rarest treasure here. Young tortoises learn to drink dew from plants and conserve every precious drop within their bodies. The kit fox, with its oversized ears and keen senses, is another master of desert survival. Its large ears help dissipate heat and pick up the faintest sounds of prey. The kit fox brings back small rodents or lizards to its pups, who wait in the cool safety of their underground den. As the pups grow, they are led on their first nighttime hunts, learning to use their acute hearing to detect the faint rustle of a kangaroo rat in the darkness. Nighttime is when the desert comes alive. The cool air allows the young foxes to play, hunt and explore without risking dehydration. For a young roadrunner, every day is a test of speed and cunning. Food is scarce and competition is fierce. Roadrunner parents are skilled hunters, able to snatch up insects, lizards and even small snakes with lightning-fast reflexes. They bring these meals to their chicks, who quickly learn to handle a variety of prey. As the young roadrunners grow, they leave the nest and follow their parents, learning to navigate the open terrain. They practice running at high speeds, not just to escape danger, but to chase down their own meals. Each day, they hone their hunting skills, pouncing and pecking at anything that moves, preparing for the challenges ahead. Shelter is as vital as food or water. Many young animals dig burrows, hide under rocks, or seek refuge beneath cacti to escape predators and the sun's punishing rays. The cactus wren builds its nest among the spiny arms of a cholla cactus, where its chicks hatch in relative safety. The cactus's sharp spines form a natural barrier, keeping most predators at bay and giving the chicks a fighting chance. The young wrens are taught which cacti offer the best protection and how to gather the right materials for their own future nests. From the tortoise in its burrow to the fox in its den and the wren in its cactus fortress, each young animal learns that shelter is as crucial as food and water in this unforgiving land. Every day is a battle against heat, thirst and predators. Yet these tiny survivors are equipped with remarkable instincts and adaptations, thick skins, nocturnal habits, and the ability to go without water for days. Against all odds, they not only endure but thrive, embodying the resilience and ingenuity of life in the desert. The first year of life for any animal in America's national parks is a story of incredible courage. But on Humunhon Island, every new life is a miracle, an act of hope against the odds. Here the journey begins in utter vulnerability, surrounded by the vastness of the sea and the unpredictability of the wild. From a monitor lizard hatchling venturing out into the sunlight for the first time, to a fledgling kingfisher daring its first flight above the tangled mangroves, each small creature faces an epic struggle, shaped by the island's unique challenges. They must battle the elements, torrential rains, searing sun, and the ever-present threat of predators. In these first months, they must learn the skills of survival, guided by the watchful eyes of their parents. Parental care is a lifeline, devoted guardians passing down the wisdom of generations, ensuring the fragile thread of life continues. Every lesson, every moment of protection is a testament to resilience and hope. The bond between parent and young is a force of nature, an unspoken promise that life will endure. On Humunhon, every species is part of a delicate web, each life supporting another in ways both seen and unseen. From the tiniest ant to the soaring fruit bat, every creature plays a vital role in the island's story of survival. The success of one depends on the health of many, predators and prey, pollinators and plants, all bound together. The goats grazing on rocky slopes depend on the resilience of the island's grasses, just as the birds rely on the bounty of fruiting trees. The life of a sea turtle hatchling is tied to the rhythm of the tides and the pull of the moon, a journey of hope into the unknown. Each night the darkness offers both danger and the promise of a new beginning. When we look into the eyes of a young animal on Humunhon, we see not just innocence, but the hope and resilience that define the wild. Each new life is a vital link in a chain that stretches back through centuries of survival and adaptation. Humunhon Island itself is a sanctuary, a place where these fragile beginnings are given a chance to flourish. Here, away from the bustle of the outside world, animals can raise their young with a little more peace. Yet even this sanctuary is fragile. Climate change, pollution, and the encroachment of human activity threaten these beginnings. Shrinking habitats and changing landscapes put pressure on every new life that emerges here. The survival of these young depends not only on their parents, but on the resilience of the island itself. It also depends on our willingness to protect and restore the wild places that nurture them. The future of Humunhon's wildlife is bound to our choices, our hope, our care, our resilience. When you set foot on this island, pause and look closer. Every small life is a story of hope unfolding. Beyond the sweeping views, notice the details, the moss, the insects, the quiet persistence of life. Listen for the call of a chick in its nest, or the rustle of a hatchling in the leaves. Look for the faint tracks in the sand, evidence of a new beginning, a fragile hope. These small lives are the spirit of Humunhon, resilient, hopeful and enduring. They are living proof that even in the face of adversity, life finds a way. Each fragile beginning is a reminder of what is at stake and what can be saved. The first steps of a newborn on Humunhon are the very essence of the wild, a promise renewed with every sunrise. In these fragile and precious beginnings, we find hope for the future, a wild promise that with care and resilience will endure for generations to come. Humunhon Island is not only a sanctuary for wildlife, but also a silent witness to a pivotal moment in human history. Over 5 centuries ago, the tranquil shores of this island saw the arrival of Ferdinand Magellan and his expedition, a first encounter that would ripple through time. On March 16, 1521, Magellan's fleet anchored off the coast, weary after months at sea. For the local inhabitants, the sudden appearance of foreign ships on the horizon was both a curiosity and a cause for caution. The first moments of contact were marked by tentative gestures, exchanges of gifts, food, and signs of friendship. Yet, beneath the surface, these interactions set in motion profound changes that would shape the fate of the island and the wider archipelago. The introduction of new goods, animals and ideas altered daily life, while diseases brought by the newcomers would have lasting and devastating effects on local populations. Magellan's landing was the beginning of a new era, one that brought both opportunity and upheaval. Over the centuries that followed, Humunhon's forests and shores bore witness to waves of change, shifting alliances, new beliefs, and the gradual transformation of the land itself. The island's role in this global story is etched into its very soil, reminders of how history, like nature, is shaped by moments of chance and choices made long ago. Today, as the sun rises over Humunhon, the echoes of that first contact still linger. The island stands as a living link between past and present, its landscapes holding the memory of both natural wonders and human journeys. In every tide and every breeze, there is a reminder. History is not just written in books, but in the land and the lives that endure. Today, Humunhon Island faces challenges as formidable as any in its storied past. The tranquil beauty that once greeted Magellan's fleet is now threatened by the relentless march of climate change. Rising sea levels gnaw at the shoreline, and storms grow fiercer with each passing year, reshaping the island's fragile coasts. Ancient mangroves, nature's silent protectors, stand as the first line of defence, their tangled roots anchoring the land against erosion and sheltering countless species. But the struggle does not end with nature alone. The island's people, inheritors of both tradition and transformation, now find themselves at the heart of a new battle, the fight to preserve Humunhon's unique ecosystem. Local fishermen, whose livelihoods depend on the sea, join hands to restore coral reefs damaged by warming waters and pollution. Conservation groups plant new mangrove saplings, determined that future generations will know the shade and shelter these forests provide. There are setbacks. Illegal fishing, plastic waste and dwindling fish stocks threaten the delicate balance. Yet hope endures in the quiet determination of those who call Humunhon home. Solar panels glint on rooftops, a promise of cleaner energy. Community patrols watch over nesting sea turtles, ensuring hatchlings reach the ocean's embrace, each small act a ripple in the tide of change. Humunhon's story is still being written. In the face of adversity, the island stands as a testament to resilience, a living reminder that the choices made today will shape the world of tomorrow. As the sun sets over its shores, the struggle continues, guided by the unyielding spirit of those who refuse to let this island's wonders fade into memory.